I never thought I'd reach the day when my own stepchildren would look me in the eye and say, "You're not our real dad." That sentence hit harder than anything I've ever faced in my life. You know that moment when someone you love suddenly turns you into a stranger? Yeah, that was mine. And all because I tried to talk about college costs. Tell me honestly, was I wrong for doing what I did next? My name's Daniel. I'm 48. And I've been married to my wife Laura for 8 years now. When I came into her life, she already had 2 10-year-old twins, Emily and Josh. Back then, they were sweet, shy kids, always polite, always glued to Minecraft, and addicted to those strawberry Pop-Tarts that turn milk pink. I never tried to replace their dad. I just wanted to be present, to be someone they could count on. I drove them to school, sat through dentist appointments, stayed up all night when they had the flu. I did what any parent would do. Their biological father, Marcus, lived in another state. He'd call twice a year, maybe send a car with $20 in it, pretending that covered the rest of the year. So, I became the one who stayed. Over time, I covered everything: braces, summer camps, piano lessons. Emily quit halfway through. Josh's basketball fees, laptops for high school, even therapy sessions when Emily's anxiety hit hard. I wasn't keeping score to brag, but one day I looked over my spreadsheet and realized I'd spent nearly $68,000 over 8 years. Laura and I both worked long hours. She's a nurse pulling 12-hour shifts. I managed construction projects. Life wasn't perfect, but it was good. We'd built something solid, a family, or at least I thought we had. Then senior year came. The big college talk started over dinner one night. Emily dreamed of art school in Chicago, $48,000 a year. Josh wanted to go west, maybe California, for film or psychology. I was proud of them. I really was. Until the acceptance letters and financial breakdowns hit. That's when I realized dreams cost money. One night I gathered them at the kitchen table with all the forms and calculators spread out. "Guys," I said calmly, "if you go to State U, the scholarships and savings cover almost everything. You'll graduate with little debt, maybe $10,000 total. But if you go out of state, you're looking at over $150,000. We just can't afford that." Emily rolled her eyes like I'd ruined her life. Josh leaned back, smirking, like this was a bedtime story. Then Emily said it. Words that split the room in half. "That's between Mom and us. You don't need to get involved." I thought she was joking, but she wasn't. She leaned closer. "You're not our real dad, Daniel. You don't get to decide this." Josh crossed his arms. "Yeah, maybe just keep your opinions to yourself." Laura froze mid-sip of tea. The silence was deafening. I sat there, not angry, just empty. For nearly a decade, I'd shown up for these kids, paid for everything, cared deeply. And suddenly I was just an ATM with legs. I didn't argue. I just cleared the table, kissed Laura on the forehead, and went to bed. That night, every receipt I'd ever saved flashed through my mind like a slideshow. Every overtime hour, every weekend spent at their games instead of relaxing. And in that moment, something clicked inside me. Not anger, not revenge, just quiet clarity. The next night, after the kids were in bed, I told Laura we needed to talk. She sighed, already teary. "I'm sorry for what they said. That was disrespectful." "It's more than disrespectful," I said softly. "They told me I don't get a say in decisions they expect me to pay for. I've spent $68,000, and suddenly, I'm not family enough to have an opinion." Laura cried quietly. "What do you want to do?" "I'm done funding their college savings," I said firmly. "Not taking anything back. The money from your side stays. But my $500 a month contributions stop. The 529 college accounts I opened. I'm changing those beneficiaries." I waited for a fight, but Laura surprised me. She looked up, wiped her tears, and said, "You're right. They need to learn what respect costs." For once, she didn't defend them. She agreed that actions should have consequences. A week passed. The house turned cold. Emily and Josh barely spoke to me. Then one day, I got a call from Laura. Panic in her voice. Emily had logged into her college financial portal and noticed her funding had dropped. She found out the 529 account no longer listed her name. "She's furious," Laura said. "What did you tell her?" I told her exactly what we agreed, that you had every right to redirect your own money. Her words had consequences. That night, Emily confronted me, red-faced. "Did you cancel my college fund?" I set my keys down. "No, I redirected my account. That fund was a gift, not an obligation." "You can't do that. That's for my education." "Correction. That was for your education when I was part of your team. But since I'm just the ATM, not the dad, I'm not funding it anymore." Josh appeared in the doorway. "Mom's not going to let you do this." I smiled calmly. "She already did. Ask her." Laura stood by the stove, stirring dinner. "Your stepfather is right," she said. "You disrespected him. Now you face the results." The room went still. Emily stormed upstairs, slamming the door. 3 days later, the school counselor, Mrs. Patterson, called me. "Mr. Hayes, Emily's upset about her financial changes." "With respect, Mom," I said. "Emily made it clear I'm not her father. Her mother can handle that." Mrs. Patterson paused, then sighed. "Understood. I'll reach out to Mrs. Hayes." That night was chaos again. Crying, yelling, slammed doors. Laura and I sat quietly in the living room. She squeezed my hand. "They'll learn," she said softly. "The easy lessons never stick." Then came an email from Marcus, the absentee father. He wrote, "I heard about the college issue. I can send $500 a month, but as a man, you should understand how important education is. Please reconsider." The nerve. The man who vanished for 18 years, suddenly lecturing me about fatherhood. I didn't reply. I forwarded it to Laura. She emailed him back herself. "Marcus, if you wanted a say in their education, you should have been around. Your $500 doesn't make up for 18 years of nothing. Send it directly to them if you care that much." He never replied. Months passed. Emily took a gap year, worked at a cafe, learned the value of rent and bills. Josh went to community college, grumbling the whole way. But slowly they changed. Emily started to understand the math of life. One night, I overheard her telling Laura she'd reapplied to State University. "I finally get it," she said. "I don't want to drown in debt for the same degree." Josh came around later, when his car insurance lapsed and he didn't know how to fix it. Guess who he called? Daniel, can you help me?" I didn't rub it in. I just said, "Sure, bring the paperwork." We sat together for an hour. For the first time, he listened. When we finished, he looked up. "Thanks. I didn't know it was this complicated." "Most things are," I said. That's why advice matters. By the next fall, both kids were at the State University. Working, studying, paying their way. And you know what? Our house became peaceful again. No slammed doors, no entitlement, just quiet. Laura and I started traveling again, laughing more than we had in years. About a year later, I got an email from Mrs. Patterson, the counselor. "Mr. Hayes, I've seen many families struggle, but yours stands out. Emily and Josh have grown so much. Sometimes the hardest lessons are the ones that matter most. What you did taught them respect, something school can't teach." I didn't reply, but I saved that email. Because she was right. People talk about blended families, like it's all hugs and happy endings. But real love, the kind that lasts, has boundaries. Without them, you're not family. You're just financing bad behavior. I stopped being their ATM the night they told me to keep my opinions to myself. And I've never regretted it. Not when they struggled, not when they cried. Because the best gift I ever gave them wasn't money. It was perspective. Months later, at Thanksgiving, Emily came to me while we were cleaning dishes. "Daniel," she said quietly, "I owe you an apology. You were right about everything. I didn't understand back then." I smiled. "You were a kid. Kids make mistakes." "Yeah," she said, "but I'm not anymore. And I'm sorry." Then she hugged me, really hugged me. And for the first time in years, it felt real. Maybe that's what being a family truly is. Not blood, but growth, forgiveness, and finally understanding each other. So, Reddit, was I wrong for letting my stepkids face reality after they dismissed me? Should I have paid just to keep the peace? What would you have done in my place? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. And if you believe boundaries are as important as love, hit that like button and subscribe to Reddit Visuals. Thanks for watching.